I am learning English in New Zealand. So my English is not very well, but I try to do the best for. Okay? So, at Murals, revival traditional building skills, murales de tierra, revalorización de oficios tradicionales, in Spanish. Okay? Chile is in South America, between Pacific Ocean and Andes mountain range. Mostly of population lives in the Central Valley, between coast mountain range and Andes mountain range. So, New Zealand is distant, but we have some things in common. For example, Pacific Ring of Fire. Also call it a Circum-Pacific Belt. The Pacific Ring of Fire has 90% of the earthquakes worldwide, with 80% of the large earthquake, but you know that. The Pacific Ring of Fire joins many tectonic plates, until the Nazca Plate and South American Plate. So, it means we have a lot of volcanic eruption every year, every 2 years, and earthquakes. Therefore we learned to make a seismic knowledge. Okay? This is a Tuller village in north of Chile, with 100 years before Christ. Now this village is buried under the sun. And that is a house built with adobe in Central Valley of Chile with 200 years ago, more or less, sometimes more, sometimes less. This is the big earthquake in Chile with 9.5 degrees in Valdivia, south of Chile. The most important earthquake, and the second is in Central Valley in 2010 with 80.8 degrees. You can see that Chile is longer, and the earthquake is in the central with many cities damaged. Okay. Again, I will show our work con la Corporación del Patrimonio Cultural de Chile, que is like a cultural heritage corporation of Chile. Again is an example of restoration of a town built with earth following the 2010 earthquake. This is a Bituken in Central Valley. This is the town built with adobe principally. And this is a continuous facade, connects many houses. This is a close-up. In top, you can see there are 5 houses. Also for restaurant, we need to think not in single houses, in all houses. Do you understand me? Yes? Okay, cool. Yeah, historic urban architecture being destroyed. That is, okay, the earthquake destroyed houses, but so the government won't destroy more houses. Do you understand me? For example, this machine is, I like this picture because this machine is from the government, because they won't destroy it more, our heritage, okay? And so the community protesting to the government. That sign there, Bituken, mucho más que 425 años, Bituken is much more than 4,000 years old, too much. That house is very older houses. And So the earthquake didn't destroy me. Don't you destroy me to the government. Yeah? And conserve our architectural heritage. Okay? Who participate in this protesting? Elders and some younger people. They join each other and made this protesting and covering the roof with plastic for the raining, okay? And with the Cultural Heritage Corporation, we worked with them because they was the builder for restoring the town. And together we find solutions for repairing, okay? First, removing the tiles, because the more important is the roof for protect the water, and repairing the roof, and then tying wire onto the tiles, because the dust is always we recycle. That is the same tiles, and then we put again in top of the roof. Removing the cement plaster is the big error, and we remove that, and removing that is the house inside, reusing the adobes in the corner, some walls, reinforcing the top, you can read, with a metallic mesh. It's like a sandwich, you know? Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is the mostly adobe houses or rectangles, okay? So the wall, we need reinforcing inside with a structure, with wood, is that, okay? This is a filling a new walls with quincha. Quincha is a traditional structure in Chile. Also, we don't have a adobe rule. Sometimes we look at the Peruvian rule, because they have a lot of studies in that. And they have a rule in adobe. That is a strong clay, quincha for us. The process. Okay, always reutilizing the material from the adobes for new plaster. Okay. All these people are from Vitruvian. Okay. Sometimes owner the houses. Yeah. Harvesting local clays for plaster, and testing color for plaster, and then this is a maestro bricklayer in Chile, testing the upgrade and the plaster in the houses. The first is the first picture is the first layer. And then we use the new clay. It's a mix. The clay from local clay and adobe in a screen. Yes. Yeah. The town beautiful. Yeah. The houses. Is better. Okay, we learn from the earthquake. It's a question. But learning from the elders, revival of interesting traditional building techniques is for the future. Okay, I like this picture because is to promote and inspire to the future generation. The first picture is the man. That is traditional. It's not with mixer. It's with a horse. And the second is a workshop with mostly women, and this girl. And how we can do it? This new work or self work. We thought with Roberto, my neighbor in Bitugen, when I was living there, maybe with mural, because he's muralist and never he worked with clay, always with paint. And when I was looking the clay with plaster in the town, and we shared many lunch, dinner with him. We thought that maybe we can mural. And the first mural was self-financing. So we start to search in the deep knowledge. Do you know that? For example, they using noble use for plaster. Okay? After fermenting for 3 days, we can use the use for plastering. Okay? Here is Vin. Yes, I was with him and Sarah the last week. Use glue with flour. Yeah, I think it's similar, but we use that. That is the consistence. So then it's like this. And the first mural, in Bitugen, in the town. My friend, he's from France and also studying in Crater. It's a partnership in the Escuela de Construcción en Tierra. The mural, the process. Yeah, the first mural. It's only clay without pigments. And then we made some workshop also called la Escuela de Construcción en Tierra. They are architectural students from the University of Talca, it's my university. They went to the workshop in other town that also was damaged with the earthquake. In Talca is the capital, the region when was the earthquake. It's a mural on the working on the road. Yeah. Other in Valparaíso in a festival. Yeah, we worked with other drawing. Okay, and then we made maybe 4 murals. Always self-financing. And then the government believed it in us and gave money for make more murals, for making more murals. And the name is Murals de Tierra en el Maule project. It's like a earth mural in the Maule. Maule is that region in the Central Valley in Chile. Sorry. And our name is Tierra Mural for this project. Okay, Chile again, the region, and we made 4 murals. In also how we choose the towns. The towns are always little in the schools, rural school. Yeah, that is the first school. They made they did a drawing, and this draw we put in the mural. It's a reference. find clays around the Región del Maule region. Some colors really are not really clay, but we can use only inside because the water is not stable. Yeah, yeah. That is. Also, we made this mural with people. They apply it in our website. We ask about some skills, and we worked with us. We made 4 murals, and between every mural, maybe between 2 and 3 days each. Yeah, this mural in 2 days. In 3 days, this is another school. This is a little school with 7 students. This support is wood, okay? Because this school was damaged with the earthquake. Okay, the video, please. Yeah, it's for finishing. It's with balloon.
1 second.
very short because the presentation was long.
Well, I don't know about anybody else, but I was really conscious that when I was watching that, I just had a big smile on my face. And, you know, I think it's absolutely fantastic, inspiring, wonderful work that you're doing there. And we're all going to be, I think we'll be flocking to Consuelo's workshop, which is happening a bit later in this week.
On Sunday?
On Sunday,
Yes.
yeah. So when we've got the open day, so we can see that. We're just waiting on Matthias, who is going to help with interpretation.
Sorry, because sometimes.
That's all right. And so he's coming along, but if anybody has any questions of Consuelo, put your hand up and I'll make my way towards you, or anything that they'd like to say, actually.
Muchas gracias, muy bien hecho.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think actually one of the things I found really interesting was the reinforcing techniques using timber when you were repairing the earthen buildings. We generally tend to use a lot of steel when we come to repair buildings that have been damaged in earthquakes. So I noticed that you use quite a lot of lattice.
Yeah. A lot of why?
To strengthen the buildings. Is that?
Yes. What? Sorry.
Well, it's more. It was a comment that I noticed you use timber for repairing buildings rather than steel, which we tend to use quite a lot.
My friend.
Yeah. So what I was just asking Consuelo was if she could talk a little bit more about the timber reinforcing techniques for repairing earth walls damaged in the earthquakes.
Do you understand that?
Yeah, but timber is wall.
Madera.
Madera. Okay.
Wood.
Okay. Is how we use or?
Yeah.
No se usa madera para reforzar la estructura de
But it's first is new wood, it's pine, is the shepherd wood in Chile. I think here it's the same, or no? Yeah. Okay. But that is the name is quinta, but it's I think it's contemporary quinta because the quinta is traditional there. Yeah, for reinforce the adobe, the houses and yeah, how? Okay. Do you know the adobe houses are mostly rectangles? Okay. Yeah, and the inside between that, for example, that is the wall.
Yeah.
We need a
Cross
we need to
walls?
reinforce cross because the mostly times the adobe do that. Okay, and the wall, that structure came for join this one. Okay, and we need build a new foundation, and then the structure, and then connect in top, okay, with adherence bridge, yeah, and we use wood because the wood is more friendly with the adobe. Other architects in Chile, for example, for repairing church, use metal or steel. Yeah, but we use that because also we work with engineers in Chile. We think it's the best form for stability, the adobe.
Do any of the engineers in the audience have any comment to make about that? In terms of using timber more to do repair work here?
Hello. That's quite loud, isn't it?
If you speak me or told me slow, I can. Sorry.
That's okay. I will try to speak simply and easily. I think that using timber, essentially what we were looking at there was putting additional bracing into a long wall. And so I think that's a good system. It's one we can use in New Zealand and do use in New Zealand. If we have a long wall of adobe or of masonry, then we just need some cross walls.
Yes.
And it doesn't really matter matter what those cross walls are made of. But like you said, you need a new foundation
Yes.
for the building,
Yes.
or for that wall.
Yes.
The timber is more lightweight, and
Yes.
it doesn't have to be built into the wall. So I don't have to connect I can bolt the timber to the wall. I don't have to rebuild the whole masonry wall and key it in.
Yeah.
So I think it's something that we can use, but it does mean creating a wall there. If you don't want to create a wall, then you must use something cantilevering from the base.
Sorry, sometimes, for example, some architect want, I don't know, build a contemporary space inside, and that structure is not good for the big space, do you know? And they reinforce in top the, what is the name that? This one? Reinforce.
A truss
Yeah,
for the roof.
reinforce that
Right.
on top. Yeah.
Okay, move around.
Consuelo.
Hello.
Just briefly about the murals and the colour palette. The clays that you were using, were they from all over Chile, or is it specifically from the local areas, or how did you? Obviously, quite a variety of different colours. Were they mixed, or just single colours?
Single colors. Because we made a test before. In other times I tried, for example, for example, that one clay is good with 1 and 2 cents, and other clay 1 and 3 cents. I use it, for example, that clay and 5 cents, and sometimes also there are cracks. Yeah, but in this mural we test every color, and for don't have problem, we use only that with for the reference of test, the first test. Single color, yeah. And the region is only Maule region. It's the place, or yes.
All the colours were from that region?
Yes. And I think it's maybe a lot of color from the B2B, because we know how works that clays, and the other maybe 3 more, the other clays. Yeah.
How did you bind the plaster that you were using to the wall that was there? Did you score it, or did you wet it? It looked like someone was wetting it to actually get a good bind between the new plaster and the old plaster.
New plaster and
The key between the two.
for the in the mural, or yeah, with water. Yeah. The water is with water. There is a picture with that. My friend is.
I wasn't sure if it was actually using that bind, that stuff, that plant that you used.
But sometimes this water is with noble juice. Yeah. See, yes.
Yeah, I was wondering, I've never plastered with clay before. Do you need that plant juice or glue like you mentioned before to plaster, or could it just be water when you make a mural? When you use the clay for murals, do you just mix with water, or do you mix with plant juice or glue?
Noble juice. Sometimes sometimes only water. No glue. No.
When do you use glue and when do you use
Glue, never.
or plant?
Noble juice. Depends if I have the plants close me. Depends only of that. Yeah, because sometimes I think it's not good travel too much for take the plant
Murals is prickly pear, for those of you who didn't realise what it was.
Yeah.
So we do have it here in New Zealand.
But the glue that she's talking about is that she used the glue here while she was getting things ready for the conference instead of the notebook juice. Because we didn't have any of that in Geraldine.
We'll just keep going. The additives to the water just make the plaster more durable. So if it's inside and nobody's rubbing up against it, you don't need it necessarily. And it depends on your clays and it depends on the materials you're using. But they're using the prickly pear cactus as a glue to stabilize it further so that it's more durable.
Hi.
Hi.
What's the climate like in that part of Chile, and can you comment on the adobe versus straw clay from a thermal perspective?
The adobe versus.
So, is the adobe or the straw clay more appropriate to the climate, and does it behave in different ways thermally?
Para el clima, weather. Yeah, the traditional is adobe, but if we need a rebuild, we can't with adobe because we don't have rule. Okay, for this reason we use quinta or the straw clay because Chile is so seismic. In this process, also in the Cultural Heritage Corporation, we receive money also from the government for rebuild, and they are very strict with that. Yeah, but in this moment we can't build new houses with adobe. It's not legal, but some people also use it.
Yep. Hey, so just everyone here even is following their passions, just like you guys are over there. And just doing artistic things, we tend to follow our passions very much, and we never really get reimbursed monetarily. We don't get much money from following our passions sometimes. And so it's wonderful to hear when the Chile government, jumped on board and started to fund and give you guys some money to really get out there and make the communities more alive and vibrant with the murals. Just fantastic. So just curious on how much are you getting from the government? Does it actually support 100%, or is it kind of like 50%? How much more?
Money for rebuild the houses?
Yeah. How much still is kind of volunteer?
I don't have in New Zealand dollar.
It's not the quantity, it's kind of like...
Yeah, but the government, okay. The 50% money is from the government and 50% money is from the private sector.
Nice.
Yeah, but it's not very good money. Because it's
What
from
what you're doing
do you know, minería?
Yeah, sorry?
Minería? How do you say minería? Minería is like when you take the gold or minery. Yeah, because Chile, there are a lot of mineras.
It's like lotto money here.
Yeah, and when they help, for example, a corporation, they don't pay. They pay less money to the government. Do you know? Yeah. Yeah, and sometimes, for example, there are houses with 1,000 square meters here, and the money is not too much. Sometimes we repair some place, not all the house. And sometimes the owner gave money also for finish the restoration. Do you understand me? Yeah.